Hello guys and welcome back to this new video. Today we are going to talk about one of the protagonists of politics and French politics in particular that we have nowadays. I am recording this video now, which is Saturday, late Saturday, and tomorrow is going to be the day of the election. And so in these elections we're going to have Zemmour versus Macron, or Macron versus Zemmour. Anyway, my point here is not so much the French elections, and I don't know how they're gonna go and how we're gonna end up. But the point here is a connection, a link that I want to establish between Zemmour and, of course, one of the main piece of artwork, a piece of literature that we have from the 20th century, and that is l'étranger, so in other words the foreign. Now, the reason why I wanted to make this link is because Zemmour is quite the type, meaning, in other words, he is French but of North African origins, like Camus, and is going for an ideal of France as the great state he was. His connections, his references are to Napoleon, right? He wants a forced type of living together with immigrants, right? He wants immigrants to change their Arabic names into Christian names, right? So he wants to go back to a time of full integration, and where it was important for French to be recognized and to be acknowledged as French. So the purpose is to connect with that history, that kind of history, that of Napoleon or Charles de Gaulle. And the purpose is to isolate, to kind of like remove almost France from the European context, and to go back to a place in time where France was so important, so crucial, so pivotal, where the destiny of France was not strictly dependent on Europe and European decisions, but where France had a leading role. Now, this is somewhat a paradoxical aspect, because Zemmour could be considered as the French version of Donald Trump, right? And so people like Boris Johnson, Donald Trump, Eric Zemmour are all people who are anti-establishment, people who have detached themselves from the establishment, from the traditional apparatus. Yet they do operate in a way that is, or at least Zemmour, or Zemmour's attempt, is that of operating in a way that is towards conformity, in a way that is not assimilation, as in, embracement of the foreigner, according to the guidelines that philosophically have been established by Levinas, who supported the idea that one shouldn't even ask what is your name to somebody whom they don't know, for avoiding, in order to avoid it, to reduce that person to a mere object. In that sense, I was saying those people like Eric Zemmour, who are anti-establishment, operate in terms, or they aspire to operate in terms of like forced assimilation, where everybody is the same and nothing but the same, where the identity is established by everybody being French. But the purpose of this is to connect it with, as we were saying, with Camus' work, L'étranger, the foreigner. And we want to do this, and we want to talk about Marceau. Now, this book, with Marceau as a protagonist, is an important book. Existentialist, so very much connected to themes that we will find also in Émile Cioran, this other philosopher, Romanian, but he moved to France to work there and most of all study there. Never will he be back to Romania. He will die in France. And we want to connect it because there's a bunch of themes, right, that are connected to Turan. But my point here is Camus l'étranger. The main theme of this book is the sense of boredom. And boredom is particularly important here. Life and death are on the same at the same level. Marceau kills somebody on the beach, and there is no sense of guilt. There is no sense of remorse. When the judge asks him, he does not understand the question about remorse. He has habitual sexual relationships, in particular with a woman, but they are completely deprived of any feelings. Everything is like seen as very detached, very far away from him and his own world. And therefore, on the one hand, we are going to find this sense of estrangement, this sense of not belonging to anything, anybody, of having events that are kind of like worth the same, and they are positioned, located on the same level, and everything is like so far away, so estranged from our life. And to that, we counterweight that with the policies and politics and rhetorics by Zemmour, right? Where we have nothing else but the opposite of that, meaning, in other words, where we have a sense of belonging, a sense of, being part of something and something greater and something better, right? And that's probably the reason why this sort of modern alienation is counterbalanced by this sense of belonging, kind of like surge back again of nationalism and nationalistic values, right? Where we say with Donald Trump, no to China, not so much to import from China, and when we close up the borders, where we defend national identities and national values instead of Europeans or more global ones. And in that sense, collocating this conversation in the current times where we have a war at the door of Europe between Russia and Ukraine, with the military operation or invasion from Russia into that territory, is a little paradoxical, but it shows very well what we mean by national identities contraposed to more global ones that don't mean much for anybody. With that being said, guys, we'll talk some more next time with a new episode. Don't forget to comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think about this episode about L'étranger by Camus and about Eric Zemmour. So comment below. I'm waiting for all your comments. Don't also forget to subscribe, like the video if you really have enjoyed the video, hit the notification bell. Bye.